the most mysterious archaeological discoveries ever found on Earth. Thanks to countless archaeological discoveries, our understanding of our history have become more detailed, and some discoveries have left us scratching our heads. Is our history more complex than we know? It seems that way. Our scholars agree that we're a species with an intense case of amnesia. Despite having a detailed understanding of our history, there are some things we can't explain. Here are some of the most mysterious archaeological discoveries ever made. The underground city of Derinkuyu. In 1963, a man knocked down a wall in his basement, discovering a mysterious underground city. The subterranean city is up to 18 stories and 280 feet deep, in places and probably thousands of years old. The Derinkuyu underground city is the largest of its kind, and it could have housed 20,000 people. And we live cheek by jowl with undiscovered worlds. Sometimes the barriers that separate us are thick, sometimes they're thin, sometimes they're breached, and that's when a wardrobe turns into a portal to Narnia, the rabbit hole leads to Wonderland, and a Raquel Welch poster is all that separates a prison cell from a tunnel to freedom. And this is on Collective Spark. The ancient giant stones in Costa Rica, in the Diqui Delta in southern Costa Rica, considered unique examples of the complex social, economic, political systems of period about 500 to 1500 AD, varying in size from between 0.7 meters to 3 meters in diameter. The purpose of these unique pre-Columbian stone spheres has long fascinated scientists. It's still a mystery. Researchers from INAH now report they've recovered 6 ancient stone spheres from the Chiriqui period up to 1550 AD. The 2 of them have undergone a major surgery due to notorious deterioration. And then you have these ancient cart ruts in Turkey, parallel tracks that run through rock that are typically the width of a small vehicle of a cart, roughly 140 centimeters or so. Malta has these strange tracks in over 150 locations. Some may mistake these ruts to be made in soft clay. However, they were formed in rock, and in most cases very hard rock, and this is where the puzzle begins. Why are so many places in Malta with these deep tracks worn into hard rock? Who did it, and why? Was there a very active society years ago moving lots of heavy material around? Are they man-made or even prehistoric? Eric von Daniken theorized in his book Chariots of the Gods that these tracks were alien influenced or built. Others suggest it was some form of irrigation system or field furrows. There is evidence to suggest that the deep grooves in the rocks are at least 2,700 years old, as some of the tracks run through Punic tombs that date back at least that long ago and could not have been there when the tracks were made. The width between the parallel ruts remains fairly consistent, similar to modern-day railway tracks. They run in lines, around curves, up and down hills, and even switch back and forth on steeper slopes in parallel with modern roads. Intriguingly, some of the cart ruts run straight off the edge of ridges and cliffs. Isn't that something? Some are as long as 2 to 3 kilometers in single stretch. However, tying them to a specific function raises further questions. The ruts don't lead to an obvious destination, prehistoric or ancient, and have left no datable material. Some of the ruts look random and carelessly bumpy, others look intentionally carved. Its mystery remains unsolved to this day and has been a debate since 1647, when Abella, a Maltese historian, first puzzled over them. Malta is not the only place where car ruts have been found in the world. However, there are more car ruts in Malta than anywhere else. Even if you were to count all the car ruts in the world and combine them, Malta has still more, and they are rarely the same as seen in Malta. Looking elsewhere is thus counterproductive into solving the mystery. And then we have the Yonaguni in Japan, Japan's Atlantis. The Yonaguni Monument, also known as the Yonaguni Submarine Ruins, is a prehistoric submerged rock formation that's formed in weird large clusters up to 5 floors high, and it's highly believed that to be completely man-made artificial structure. The terrace formations discovered off the coast of Yonaguni Island, Japan, by divers in 1986. It's only 70 feet below the surface of the water. It has already known as a popular diving location during the winter months because of its large population of hammerhead sharks. Apart from this strange appearance, there were found some artifacts that prove the existence of humans at that region in the distant past. And of course, the Great Pyramids. Nikola Tesla died somewhat unappreciated by his fame, and the myth around him has continued to grow tremendously into our times. He's now perceived as the ultimate mad scientist, the one who essentially invented our times, credited with key ideas leading to smartphones, Wi-Fi, AC electric supply system, and more. Besides ideas that Tesla implemented and patented, he also had many other interests in different fields of research, some quite esoteric. One of the most unusual was his preoccupation with Egyptian pyramids, one of humanity's most mysterious and magnificent constructions. Tesla believed they served a higher purpose and was investigating them throughout his life. What did he find so alluring about the pyramids? He wondered if they were not giant transmitters of energy, a thought that coincided with his investigation to how to send energy wirelessly. El Tajan, an entrancing archaeological site located in the west of Veracruz, Mexico, offers an intriguing glimpse into ancient civilizations that once thrived in the region. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, El Tajan fascinates visitors with its impressive architectural structure, carved artwork, and deep cultural significance. The Terracotta Warriors of Japan. The tomb of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, despite being involved in one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all times, endures as a mystery to archaeologists and historians, as it remains largely sealed up and unexplored. The strange and deadly history of the tomb and its contents was sealed within and buried beneath vegetation for thousands of years. The 2 decades following, in 218 BC, was a period of instability in the Mediterranean area as the Roman Republic went to war with the Carthaginians. In the Far East, by contrast, this period was relatively stable as a unified China emerged from the chaos of the Warring States period. Qin Shi Huang was the man responsible for uniting the 7 warring states to form the first imperial dynasty of China. The first emperor of China was as obsessed with life as he was with the afterlife, whilst occupied with the search for the elixir of immortality. Qin Shi Huang was also busy building his tomb. Göbekli Tepe, the world's first temple, 6 miles from Urfa, the ancient city in southeastern Turkey. Klaus Schmidt made one of the most startling archaeological discoveries of our time. Massive carved stones about 11,000 years old, crafted and arranged by prehistoric people who had not yet developed metal tools or even pottery. The megaliths predate Stonehenge by some 6,000 years. The place is called Göbekli Tepe, and Schmidt, a German archaeologist who has been working here more than a decade, is convinced that it's the site of the world's oldest temple. And this list can go on. For example, we've hardly ever touched the archaeology of North America or South America, let alone Africa. And this is on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.